Hey, welcome back to Vanessa's podcast. So today I'm going to do something new. I'm going to talk about something that only a few of us have experienced. And if you have, then you're going to recognize yourself. And if you haven't, then maybe you'll get there someday and then you'll understand. And if you're already there, then at least now maybe more people will actually have maybe more compassion or just understand more where you're coming from. So I'm talking to all of you out there who went through the worst in their life and went through the other side, the dark side. And for some of us, the dark side has been a majority of their lifetime. For others, it's been a tiny little part of their life, and for some, it's been their whole life, and for some, it's never been there, or maybe just a slightest. So when I'm talking about the dark side, there's different versions of dark side. I'm not just talking about having a depression and just stepping into the dark side for a little bit, or just experiencing a little bit of darkness, a little bit of disappointment in life, and just feeling bitter about everything, or just sad, emotional, or maybe highly emotional. Those are normal, common things to experience. Even if it's overly once in a while, it really depends on what's happening in your life at that moment. Now, what I'm talking about, it's totally different. It's something that took me a century to discover. So let's start from the beginning. Once upon a time, when I was little, everything was very magical. Everything was a new discovery. Everything was just beautiful. Like a lot of us who grew up in a great upbringing and just beautiful neighborhoods and loving parents, we have a chance to see the world in all kind of bright colors and just be happy all the time. Get to travel, get to have birthday parties, get to go in camps every single summer, get to go in camps even during the winter or Easter or spring break. Get to do all kinds of sports and hobbies. I mean, having the luxe life, which we don't actually know we have a luxe life, because for everybody else around us is doing the same thing. How do we know we are any different, or we are receiving a better treatment than the population, the rest of the population? We don't know that. It's only after a few years you start meeting new people, growing up, entering high school, all this, and you start discovering, oh, okay, there's people living in a small apartment with 3 or 4 of them, or 5 or 6, and there's people who live in one room. There's people who sharing apartments. There's people struggling to survive, and there's people living on the streets. There's people, who can't even afford anything at all. There's people who never even, step out of the city or gone anywhere because they don't have the money to go on vacation. And there's people who never went to camp or did any type of sport because they just can never afford it. So, it's really hard to understand someone if you haven't gone through their point of view and sitting in their seat and just being in their shoes and also being able to say, oh, I understand what you're going through. No. A lot of people don't want to hear that if, you just not gone through what they gone through. Until you actually gone through what other people has gone through and understand their perspective, and you can deeply, profoundly say, yes, I understand. I have gone through. So I know for the longest time, I done that. Years and years. I was so eager to understand more people and just, bring more empathy to the world, more compassion. That was a normal, nature of mine. That the more I brought, the more happy I felt. The more I could help, the better I was, and the better other people were. You can't help everybody, but sometimes you can. So you do your best. So I remember always trying to do that, and years will go by, and I knew that there was some people that I just could not understand, and I didn't really know that entirely. Probably was too young to really, grasp the idea of it's not possible to understand everybody. Young, you survivor, you think you know everybody, you know everything, or at least you're trying to know everything. So I can say openly that at the age of 20, I had met so many people, all type of people, all type of flavors of people. And I actually had a pretty high, how do you call this? I'm not sure what term to use, but I was pretty open-minded at that age, at 20, and I was pretty wise when I think back. And I already had a lot of wisdom, and it's weird when you think about it. It was very quiet, very posed, and it just came naturally. And anyway, so at the age of 20, I'm like a vagabond nomad, hopping from, place to place, meeting people after other people. It just mainly almost getting along with almost everybody. Almost everybody. And that was what was wild, is that there's a lot of people you can't get along with, but for me, that was almost impossible, because I never approached someone with the fear of they're not gonna like me, I don't like their attitude, oh, this person is negative, do not want to get near. So, because when you have too much positive in you, you do not feel the negative. That's the thing. So you have a big double layer. It's like a layer deep, who's covering you like a big buffer. And that big buffer is so powerful, basically, that but you don't grasp any negative vibe, and you don't feel depression around you, you don't feel any bad energy around you. And also naivety comes in place in there too, not knowing enough, probably, and probably a little bit of stupidity. When we're young, we're stupid too. But so anyway, the whole point is that having that buffer allows you to approach everybody and get down at their level and just try to get along. If your goal is to get along, it's to understand each other, have a good time, then you're going to do that. You're going to do that very easily and effortlessly. And you know what else is that it's good to make new friends. It's good to have a good laugh. And so if you can have a quick good laugh, why not getting it? If you can make someone laugh for a little bit, even if that specific someone never laughs, then even more of a reason to do it. And I think it's just great. I think more people need to laugh. And I think, I think more people should less be afraid, to talk, to speak out, to approach stranger. Just be that friend that other person needs. And so anyway, it took me a lot of years after I have met so many people in my life. And when I keep saying that, that's because I can't even recall it, because I was going so many places all the time. And there was days where I would talk to about 10 strangers and have long conversation, and that's just in one day. So it's really weird to go from a lifetime where you had so many people around you and you will talk to that many people all the time, to switch to another decade of lifetime to the opposite. And that is just so weird, because I experienced that. So I wanted to live into two different dimension world. I never thought I'd be that person who spent a few years, who has literally almost no one to talk to. Never thought I would be that person. But in a way, I got to experience what that lonely person experienced for years before me. So, but I'm not here to talk about lonely people. I'm here to talk about what it's like to be in the shoes of a homeless person. So, say homeless, but also someone who has lost all of their self-confidence and their self-esteem. And also someone who has lost connection with connection with anyone, and is lost in their mind, lost in their thoughts, in their head, the conversation they're having in their head, lost in the world in general, lost souls. So, to get to that, it has to take a while. First, you have to get into that dark road, and you have to go in the dark side. You gotta stay there, you gotta get stuck, and then once you get stuck, you gotta get pushed down some more, and you can start losing all your senses. You start losing it. You start losing your mind little by little. Then maybe more traumas comes and make things worse. And then if you just start adding drugs or alcohol and things like this, then you will slowly start getting there. And when you get there, it's only once you finally experience this world and you actually can understand those people when maybe you judge in the past. Maybe you walk by and thinking you all about them. Maybe they were nothing to you. They were transparent. They were invisible. Maybe they were their own fault. When you look at them, you're like, oh, it's their own fault they're there, Or maybe you immediately thought, oh, those people are mentally challenged, mentally here. No hope for them. So a lot of things, and we might have thoughts, maybe we all judgmental once in a while. So we can't say that we haven't judged, and even if we're not that type of person, we do judge once in a while. So I always thought that I did understand, because I always try to talk to those people. I try to give him money, try to give him stuff, try to have a small chat. I will not literally come to the homeless guy and sit down and spend the afternoon with him, but I will usually just try and have a quick chat if he doesn't look too scary. I try to cheer him up how I could. And for a while it was okay, but it did get me into a lot of trouble. And after that, when I wasn't all that strong anymore and my buffer was gone, then if I try to be the same person now, I didn't have my protection, my high positive attitude. So now it was easy for me to start feeling that negativity around, and it started to affect me little by little. And that's what